Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, and today we'll be doing another Grand Archive video for you, specifically on the Assassin class. The purpose of this video is to point out the main mechanics of the class, as well as key cards and specific archetypes to both give you a basic understanding of it, as well as potentially spark some excitement to play it. Keep in mind that I am one opinion, so if you have any additional value as a long-standing Grand Archive player, feel free to add it below in the comments. Also, if you want to, check out in the description down below, I have a content creator worksheet for access to a bunch of other content creators who cover this game as well as other games that I play. Please go follow them, check out their content. You also can check out the Discord as well as a channel membership, and we'll get right into it. So the Assassin class in Grand Archive is built around stealth, preparations, and dealing lethal precision damage to your opponents. Known for their high-risk, high-reward playstyle, Assassins excel at punishing weaknesses in their enemies while remaining elusive and hard to pin down. Their most pivotal plays require a lot of preparation, as well as potentially a few fail-safes to make sure their big turns are executed properly. But when they do, they decimate their opponent, and much like Assassin would in real life, can do that one shot, one kill to end the game. At the core of the Assassin mechanics is the ability to deal burst damage, often at surprising moments. They use keywords such as stealth, preparation counters, and ambush. Stealth gives Assassin cards an elusiveness that makes them hard to deal with, allowing the Assassin to repeatedly strike the opponent without being retaliated against properly. Preparation counters are used to build up to the precision-like burst damage we were talking about before that the Assassin is known for. But be careful, because once you use your preparation, there's no going back, as it often is an additional cost to that burst damage you're trying to achieve. Although this can be seen as a downside, it's also very thematic to a true Assassin, where once they start their execution, they have to follow through. Assassin is also very big on resource management. Whether you're playing a very aggressive version that looks to kill opponents quickly with a fire variant, or a slower version that builds to one final blow with wind or even water, planning your turns ahead of time is vital. So now we'll take a look at each of the current two Assassins, show their positives and negatives, as well as thematically what makes them different from each other, so maybe you can decide one of them to play on your own. First we have Tristan, the Umbra Assassin. Tristan often focuses on tempo swinging, daggered strikes to take out her opponents. In the past metas, Tristan has had flashes of success with both water and fire. However, over time, she has become what I would call a toolbox assassin with the wind element, giving her the flexibility to go both a mid-game and a late-game plan with her preparation counters or with some of even her early-game potential. The primary draw to highlight with her is her ominous shadows. These are able to come into the game with her level 3 and redirect damage away from Tristan so long as you have prepared properly with your preparation counters to do so. They also can be used as an offensive tool once Tristan has hit her opponent. Key cards that show both the offensive and defensive capabilities of her ominous shadows in level 3 are Shadow Strike and Penumbral Waltz. Shadow Strike is Tristan's marquee card, being able to bypass blocks and hit the opponent for an OTK level amount of damage if done properly, while Waltz can prevent as much damage as prep counters you have to pay for, as well as give additional shadows for Tristan to utilize. In the mid game, she can also kill her opponent out of nowhere with cards like Slice and Dice, as long as she has the preparation counters to do so, and a couple negates to hope to make sure it goes through. So overall, Tristan has the capability to OTK her opponent in the late game, but also do a slow burn if her opponent allows her. Xander, on the other hand, is our Luxem Assassin. Xander uses the power of light to send numerous instances of burst damage to take out his opponents, all while using that same light to heal his own wounds. At the time of this recording in 2025, Xander is often played in one of two ways. The first, ignoring his elemental light in favor of an extremely aggressive game plan, often with the fire element. He uses what little prep time he has to create a couple prep counters and then turns that into burst damage in explosive ways. The drawback to this lack of preparation can sometimes mean he's very fragile if he does not fully hit his mark. Primary assassin-specific cards involved in this archetype are Korhazi Courier and Planet Explosive. Xander also uses a wide array of cards in Fire's kit in order to enact this game plan. The other method Xander uses to reach his Luxem light as quickly as he can so that he might utilize his memory manipulation and share the power of light with his opponents, whether they like it or not. Additionally, his combo turn will not only deal a great amount of burst damage, but inhibit his opponent's ability to have an answer due to his level 3 ability of making them put the cards down in their memory. The biggest thing about Xander's playstyle is, of course, his preparation, like every assassin. Key cards in this archetype include Lightweaver's Assault and Uncover the Plot, cards that show both the high burst potential of the assassin as well as his ability to recover the damage lost from the more tempo-oriented playstyle. Although Xander does need a clean line of sight in order to hit his target, and doesn't really want to have any objects stopping his light from being shown, such as Nullifying Mirror. This is where the challenge of this archetype comes into play, as you're a level 3 deck that often can't afford to slow the game down. You have to play with a decent amount of tempo to get to your Luxem element as fast as you can before your opponent can develop the answers needed in order to stop it. But if you can get there, you nearly lock your opponent out of the game. Overall, if you want a toolbox assassin that focuses on 1 or 2 precise instances of physical damage using marquee assassin weapons, while also being able to slow the opponent's pace, Tristan is the assassin for you. If you want a more high-risk, high-reward playstyle where you're forcing your opponent to answer your game plan quicker while using what little preparation time you have to deal high amounts of burst damage, Xander's likely your best choice. Hopefully this helped give you a basic understanding of the assassin class, its mechanics, and current champions. The class will begin another edition in December of this year with the release of the set Phantom Monarch, where we will be getting a Crux Assassin in Merlin. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Like I tell everyone all the time though, if my content's not for you, even this content's a little bit different than normal. It's a little bit more scripted. Please feel free to go to the career worksheet down below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe on someone else's content so we can get more people seeing this game. Stay kind to each other, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.